Well, joining me now is Captain Rahman Kapoor. Thank you so much, Captain, for joining us here on the programme. I've just, in my introduction, talked about the fact that you and your crew have been stranded somewhere in the Strait of Hormuz for about 54 days. Just tell me how you all are.
Hi, good evening. This is Captain Raman Kapoor. Thank you for having me. Uh, yes, it is. It is really very disappointing. Disappointing, Since 54 days, we are here stranded inside this conflict zone, and the most important, most concerning part is the uncertainty and helplessness. And prolonged stays, delayed repatriations. All these points are very much concerning at the moment. My crew is, under constant stress ever since the war started, since we are stranded inside this conflict zone. And there is nothing much we can do. And as you can see on the screen also, there are hundreds of ships around us, and there are, nearly 20,000 seafarers stranded inside the Persian Gulf.
It's, extraordinary images that you have sent to us about what's going on around you. You are in an active war zone. This nightmare really unfolded for you and your crew at the beginning of this war. You're facing a level 3 security threat. Just help our audiences understand what that means.
Well, we are maintaining level 3 security level on board ship. There are three security levels, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 3 being the highest security level, where we have to do, we have to restrict ourselves strictly on ship. We cannot get down from the ship. Nobody can board the vessel. And we have to maintain the security watches round the clock, and the special security measures are there, and we have to keep a very close lookout. My guys are continuously on watch, watching for the drones, unidentified boats, or missiles. And it is not a regular thing on board ship. So whenever vessel is in danger zone, in war conflict, or passing through any piracy zone, then we maintain the security level 3, which is highest security level.
But this is unprecedented. You've talked about being in danger zones in the past, and that's why you have these security levels. But I imagine throughout your career, you've never experienced a moment like this. And you've talked about drones and missiles. Just help us understand what that's been like for all of you there. It must be quite terrifying.
Yes, it is. When war started, we just found ourselves in between this conflict zone, and we saw several hundreds of missiles flying over our head, and especially during early morning or the late evening time, we witnessed several missiles and explosion noises, and the shock of those explosions we were felt on ship. Even though we are quite far from land, but still we could feel the shock on the vessel. And my whole crew was under stress. As an we heard the news that war has started and there are attacks happening on merchant ships. It was very disturbing. My whole crew was under constant stress, and they had so many questions on their face, and they were worried about their well-being and safety. And
Captain Kapoor, just talk us through how you're all surviving there. How are you getting food and water supplies?
yes, we were lucky that we had lifted quite good amount of provisions uh, in the beginning of the war, and very thankful to our company that they have been assisting very well, and replenishing our food supplies timely. So our stores are quite stocked up at the moment, and hopefully we didn't face a major issue. What we expected in the beginning, that we might face food issues, as these countries, the nearest country being Iraq and Kuwait, where we are stranded right now. Uh, there might be a shortage of food or something like that, but unfortunately, luckily, we are lucky to have good stock of food, although the prices must have gone high, but we were lucky to have sufficient food on ship.
Yes, we've got some images that we will probably bring up on our screen of a smaller ship bringing those supplies to your ship. So, there is a lot of movement still in the sea where there are ships moving around.
Not exactly. This is the special scenario, where we have to request for food, and the special arrangements has to be made to arrange this boat and food supplies. It takes like weeks to arrange all this. We have to obtain various permissions from their port authorities, and then while we are lifting our provision, as you can see, there is a naval boat standby over there, and naval boat is continuously patrolling around the vessel, ensuring the safety and security all the time. Even naval boat contacted us and asked us, is everything okay, why this boat is there. I mean, they are supervising every moment of all the vessels. So see, you can see the naval ships are patrolling, and yes, after the operation is over, they will definitely go and check that, like that small boat as well. They have their own procedures. So it is very controlled operation, even though it looks very small operation, that we are just simply lifting the provisions from the boat, but it is very controlled, which we never experienced earlier. It used to be very normal operation for us, but in this given time, it has become a very crucial operation.
We are in the middle of a fragile ceasefire. We are hearing and getting reports, and I know that you have access to information as well about boats, the ships that are being attacked and ships that are being seized as well. Do you have any certainty amongst all of this uncertainty about when you might have safe passage through, when you might be able to go home?
So this is the uncertainty and helplessness. These are overwhelming. And ever since ceasefire was announced on, I think, 8th of April, it was announced. Since then, at least we have seen that there are no missiles flying, no explosions being uh, were there, and no attacks were on ships happening. But past few days, when this peace talk didn't do well, it failed. The peace talk failed. Since then, again, attacks are started on merchant ships. You must have heard in last couple of days. Today also there were attacks on ships. So in that case, what we feel as a seafarer, we feel like we have become collateral victims here with no fault of ours. We can understand there is war, there is politics involved, there are so many countries, so many people involved. But why we? We are simple human being. We are just simple sailors. We are not trained for war. We are not warriors. So what we are stuck here. We have become collateral victims.
And, briefly, how are your family feeling? Because they must be incredibly worried. And has there been any kind of support from your government or, any kind of outreach other than your company about how this issue might be resolved for you and your team and the, thousands of others stranded there?
Yes, we are in regular touch with our families, and families are worried as well. And many people are there waiting for our safe return to our home, and they have been requesting us that please do come back home. But we are helpless here. We are stuck. Earlier, there were no airports operating. All the flights were shut, and sea routes were blocked, and we were trapped inside vessel only. But now a few airports, they have started operating. But the bigger question is here. For example, if as a captain I want to get down from a ship, I cannot just get down. I have to hand over the command of the vessel to some other captain. But no one would agree to come and relieve me in this zone. That is the biggest concern, biggest worry at the moment. So there are several seafarers on board ship. There are I have officers, crew, those who have completed their contract on ship and still stuck here, still trapped, because we are not getting relievers. Companies are trying their best, no doubt. Companies helping us, they are trying their best, but it is not a normal situation. So, and we are overdue by 2 months, 3 months, and we are stuck on ship. So of course, families are waiting for us, and it is not an easy situation to handle with.
Well, Captain Kapoor, we're really grateful that you've joined us on the programme in this very difficult time for you and your crew members.
Thank you. Happy to help. Thank you.